Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this birthday card. I shared it on my blog yesterday and I have been overwhelmed by how well liked this is. So I thought I would show you how I made it. I'm going to change my colour scheme. This was Pink Pirouette, and today I'm going to be using Soft Sky. Both of these are colours that will be retiring when our new catalogue comes in, which is a shame because they are beautiful colours, but equally we do have some really lovely colours coming in, new colours. So to start off with, the card pieces that you're going to need, you need a card base of Whisper White cardstock, which measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres. You will need 2 pieces of Soft Sky cardstock. That's for the one piece is for the inside, one piece of each is for the inside for lining the card. So you need 2 pieces of Soft Sky, which measure 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. And then 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock, which measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. Now, apart from some scrap for your butterflies and the flowers to go on top, you don't need any extra cardstock. So I've just got one extra piece like this. I do want a piece of scrap paper, don't I? Let's just lean over and get this. Right. To start off with, I have forgotten to do anything on the inside of this card, but I am going to do something inside this blue one. So I need this first to do my stamping, and then I'll need that to do some stamping as well. The stamp sets I'm using, first of all, for the Flourish part, that's from the Flourishing Phrases stamp set, which will be carried forward in the new catalogue. It's a 2-box set and it's got lots of sentiments there as well. It's got a few more on this side too. Beautiful stamp set, really pleased it's being carried forward. When I see things like this, I tend to think that this is for a sympathy card, but I wanted to change my mind about that, which is why I started working on cards like this. I'll show you another one that I made a couple of days earlier, which is quite similar, but I used different products. Another stamp set I'm going to be using is the Sharing Sweet Thoughts, which will not be carried forward. This is the current year's Ronald McDonald House Charities stamp set, and I'm using this one here. This stamp is actually one stamp and all 3 butterflies are attached like that, but you will see that I have separated mine. I did that because I want to use some on the inside, but when you stamp them in that position, and I want to choose where I want them to go without having to mask them over and things like that. The other stamps that I'm using, I'm not going to make a birthday card. I am going to be using the Basket of Wishes, which I didn't check to see whether it's being carried forward or not. But I'm going to be using the Thinking of You, because I'm actually making this card for a very special person and I want her to know that I am thinking of her. So to start off with, I'm going to stamp the Flourish, and I am using our basic grade Archival ink because this is a stamp that has very thick lines to it. You see the stem's very thick and all the outside lines are very thick, and I sometimes think that depending on what colours you're putting with it, especially pastel colours like this, I think the black can be too dark, too heavy, and the grey comes in beautifully for this. So I'm going to ink it up once to pop onto the front of my card, and I am just sort of centering that with the stem coming down. There's no real right or wrong direction for this one. There we go. So that's fine. But what I now need is I need 3 extra flowers. I'm not going to mess about by inking one up and getting my stamp down like that and inking that one, and I'm just going to stamp all of them again. I have a lot of patience for things like fussy cutting and such like, but I don't have patience for separating out the 3 separate flowers and just inking those. As long as I can get all 3 like that, then I'm happy. There we go, 1, 2, 3. That's it, that's all I need. I also need my 3 butterflies. As you can see, I have cut mine, I trimmed them back a bit as well, and I need these in Smoky Slate. Oh, here it is. If you decide to cut your stamps up like this, just be warned that if you do, you will make the guarantee that you have with Stampin' Up null and void, because you have effectively deliberately damaged your stamps. But once I've used a stamp set, if I haven't had any issues with it, I don't believe I'm going to have any problems. The quality of Stampin' Up things is just absolutely superb. Now I have already done the 3 flowers, I've coloured them, I cut them out, I've got dimensionals on them ready to go. But as always, I will do at least one of each of them to show you what I do. Now on this one, I'm going to use 2 marker pens, Soft Sky for the flowers and Emerald Envy. This is actually retiring, it's one of the in colours for 2016 to 2018. But I think the 2 colours go together really well, so I'm going to give that. On this one, what I did was Pink Pirouette and Wild Wasabi. Again, 2 colours that I'd be retiring. As you know, I do like experimenting with my colours and things, especially when I'm making videos. So the flowers are really nice and easy to colour. You could decide that because these are going to be covered up with other ones that you've cut out, you may decide not to even worry about colouring them. I do, just in case somebody decides to pick the card up and have a look underneath at the dimensionals. Since I've been a card maker, I'm afraid it is something I tend to do, which is why when I do fussy cutting bits like this, I will never use a piece that's got something on the other side. I don't mind using paper that's got something on the other side as long as I'm going to actually adhere it down. Now this one here I'm treating as if it's a flower of some sort. This one here, I did do it. Yes, I did. I know that I hesitated a long time on the pink one, whether I would do them green or whether I'd include them as flowers. Had a sudden panic there and I thought maybe I did go for the leaves, but no, they are pink. I did decide to do them as flowers. Okay, see the pink. So now I'm going to do my leaves. I'm a little bit concerned this may come up a bit dark, but I'm going for it. The other area that was a little bit of a challenge for me was these grey ball things. I really wasn't sure what to do with those. I was thinking about getting a small circle punch and punching some shapes out. then I thought about the pearls, and then I found the medium-sized pearls were not big enough. You could see the grey round either side, and I thought maybe the bigger pearls would be too big. But as you know, I do experiment with these things, and they turned out well in the end. So first of all, I'm going to colour one of these, which is this. Actually, I'm assuming that they are all exactly the same shape, because I haven't kept my three separate. I just cut them all out and they're all over there. Still, we find out. Okay, so do all three like that. And then I just cut it out. Nice and easy, this is. Nothing difficult about it at all. If you find the butterflies are a bit of a challenge to cut out, if you don't have patience for that sort of thing, then you can stamp them directly onto your top layer. It will mean one of two things though. It will mean either covering up two of the butterflies while you stamp the others, or cutting them apart like I have done. I don't actually encourage anybody to deliberately cut up their stamps just in case they make a mistake. All I can say is it is something that I do. Okay, so that's... oh, didn't do that bit very well, did I? Right, I do cut all the white off as far as possible on this, and then I take a pencil or maybe even a marker pen and just give that a little curl round like that, and then a curl round that way, just to give it a little bit of dimension there. It isn't much, it won't be much, but I just don't want mine to be absolutely flat. Then what I do with the butterflies, I do the darker colour, which in this case is going to be the green, on all the outside pieces. So, no, I don't want that bit. Let's take that one. So let's take this butterfly here. So I will do the outside here. I'm not going to be fussy cutting this because I have already done them. And then this one here. You do need quite a steady hand. And it's definitely the kind of thing I try not to talk. While I'm doing it. And then just the circles. And then I do the soft sky everywhere else. And I applied that pattern to all of my butterflies. So they're nice and quick and easy to colour. It's a bigger effort to cut them out. Okay, so that's how I do those. So that's those done. I'll hold those because I'll probably use those for a different card. Right, get that out of the way. Now, what did I do next? I did the sentiment next. As I say, I'm using a different one this time. Now, where do I want to put this? I'm going to have the bow there. So I think I'll bring it up about there, I think. So let's get this out of the way because I like to sort of rely on my grid lines to keep me straight here. So how far down can you see? If I'm going to put that about there, I need to come up like that. Okay. So I'm making sure that my layer is straight there. In fact, let me just check, see if I've got this on here straight. If I have it on the block straight, then I can rely on using the lines on my grid paper. I think it's okay, is it? That looks straight. I'm sure you're saying yes. I hope you're saying yes. Right, there we go. Is that okay? You're in... Yep, okay. Right, let's ink that up again. Let me just balance myself a bit forward. In fact, if I do that so that that's straight at the base there. Aha. Yes, well done. Excellent. Right, so now really we just need to do our decoration part on here. In fact, let me do something on the inside here. I said I'd decorate this, didn't I? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stamp again, and I just want to stamp some of this top bit here, around here. I don't want to take up too much room because this is where somebody would be writing their message. In fact, on my card, definitely don't want to go too high because I want to write a note in here for my friend. So let's, in fact, I'll link it up just in case I decide to turn it. Right, I don't really know how much I'm going to get here, but that's taking up enough of my card. I don't want to take up any more of that. Once you see what I've done here, it should help you decide how much you want to do on your card. There we go, that's alright. That's nice because I've got blue and green there. Now on this one, I'm going to think about what I'm going to do on the grey bauble bits. But I'm going to do that after the video because I didn't think about it beforehand. Once I finished it off, I will post a picture of it on my blog. Got a hair there. And I will show you what I've done on the inside there. So we'll have more blue flowers. In fact, what I'm thinking about, I think I might find a small circle punch that will just about cover those, and I'm going to use some of our Dazzling Details Glimmer paper. I don't want to use our gems because it's going inside a card, and that would just cause damage. This card has got to go through the post, so and I noticed I've got a little bit of the blue flower on the side there as well, so I need to colour that. I've got a little piece of this just here. There we go. Right, so I'm going to put my card together, and I have already put my tear and tape on the back on all 4 pieces. So if I can find my tweezers. Oh, here we go. turn it round. Turn it round. I really can't see very well from that side. That's better. There we go. So now to pop this inside, do the same again. While you're watching me doing this, I'll tell you about a special promotion we have next, starting on the 1st of May. Stampin' Up are doing a pre-release on the Share What You Love suite. They did this last year with the Eastern Palace suite. I've posted a lot of information about this on my blog today. A copy of the flyer to show you what the bundles are that will be on offer. And with the bundles you will get, depending which bundle you choose, you will get free gifts with them. And you will also have the opportunity of buying the 5 new ink colours, the ink pads as well as part of the pre-release. And could I remember the 5 colours? Highly unlikely, but let's have a go. There's Lovely Lipstick, there's Call Me Clover, there's something like Bushel Blue, the orange one was what? Grapefruit Grove. So what colour have oh, Pineapple Crush, I think. I'm going to check that up afterwards and see how close I am. Right, there's that one. So now I'm going to do this one. I'm going to have to turn it upside down again. If you're in the UK, Netherlands, France, Austria and Germany and you don't already have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you'd like a copy of the leaflet about the bundles, email me at jambi@jambicards.com and I'd be very happy to send you a copy. Right, there we go. Right, that's it. Now, with the basic pearls, I've already painted these, but I will show you what I do. I use our Stampin' blends, and this one is the dark Pool Party. You may decide that you prefer the lighter one. And all I do is paint over, and then I paint over it again to make sure it comes up a nice rich colour. I don't know how well you can see that, so let me bring it up close to you. Okay, I see that one there, pearl there's had a little baby, look at that. Okay, so that's those. That was stiff. That's unusual. Right, let's pop these on. See, that gives it a lift immediately. Oh, the one with the baby. I've got a bit too much of the glue dot under there showing. So this lifts it immediately because it's covering up the dark areas of the grey and giving it a nice bit of blue. And of course a nice little bit of shine as well. So the next thing, that's a mum who's getting very clingy. That's it. Right, so now I don't need this anymore, do I? So here are my butterflies and my flowers. That's for another one later on. So I'll do my flowers first. I just got one little dimensional on these. I better just check to see whether they are different sizes or not. Oh, I don't think so. No, they're alright. That was lucky. Mind you, I suppose, had they been different sizes, because I've cut right to the edges, it wouldn't have mattered, and I've coloured the underneath, so you can still see it all. There we go. Now the butterflies. See how much difference these butterflies make, okay? That looks really quite bland, but as soon as you put 3 butterflies on, it really changes the whole thing. Right, so which way round did I do them? That one there, this one here, and this one up here. Right, I want that one a bit higher actually. As I say, if you're not into all the fussy cutting, just stamp them straight into the position you want them to be. Oops, it's getting stuck on my finger now. So that one is up there somehow. And then this one, I'm going to bring it down a bit further because the sentiment on this one is smaller. So I just need my double bow now. And the way that I do a double bow is I just take a piece of baker's twine, and I'm sorry but I really don't know which baker's twine this is, except that it is a Stampin' Up one. I don't know whether it's the right colour or not, but I think that looks nice with it, so I'm going with it. So what you do is you take your baker's twine, so it's both the same length. Let me move this out the way. It's so much easier when you've got a plain bit down here. And all I'm going to do is a bunny ear bow. Okay, so that's folding those 2 up that way, folding these 2 up here, making sure you've got a nice loop there, a gap there, because you're going to turn that into a loop. You put one over the top of the other with the hole there, and then this one here, which is on top, is going to go through the hole like that. And of course if they were good they would stay together, but on this occasion they're not. They really are giving me a hard time today. Oh, that's better. Much, much better. So you just keep pulling and twisting until you've got the bow that you like. If you don't like the side that you're looking at, turn it over. The other side may look better. And it's quite easy to get these to the same length, same size loop as well. Just find out which one here it is, and you can pull on one or the other. Okay, so just play with it until you're happy. I'm not going to play with it until I'm happy on the video because I'll be here for ages. There we go. Oh, it's thicker baker's twine than that one. So should we make it a smaller bow then? Let's have a look. I think that's okay. I think I prefer that thinner baker's twine. But that's okay. Right, so I'm going to pop this on with Tombow. Turn it over to the side that I don't like. Just put a little spot of Tombow on there. And then I'm going to put it in position. Just push it down, give it a few seconds to get a grip. While I'm holding that, I want to show you this card here, which I did, was very, very similar. Did this 2 days earlier before I did this one. And what I did for this, this is die cut, which I took from Petals and More Thinlits. Did I bring them over with me? I thought I had got them out, but I can't see them. Never mind. The Petals and More Thinlits are the set that I really, really like. It was the one, oh, here it is right in front of me. Dear, oh dear. There we go. Right, let's just take my, that's it. So it was this die here. Okay, that one. So that was the green, that's Wildwood Wasabi. Butterfly is just the same. The green is on the outside and the green dots with the pink in the middle. But the flowers I used are from here. It's these here. And this is the Touches of Nature Elements. They're wooden. You get 2 sheets like that, so you get 6 of those in one. Now these little ones are leaves, but I don't use these as leaves. But I tell you what I do use them for. There we go. These are the different shapes you get in there. And they're white on one side and wooden on the other. Now I paint on the white side and I find the colours come up beautifully. On these what I've done is I put pearls in the centre and then I put some of our fine tip glue pen glue around it and left it to dry. I can see I actually put Wink of Stella on there as well. But these little leaves, what I do is I use these to test my colours. See, that was the one that I was, have I used it here? No, there was something else I was working on. Oh, that was the wreath that I did, wasn't it? So yeah, I use these to test my colours. In a pack like that you get 12 of them, so you've got plenty of room to play with them. But if you wanted the branches either side, then you could use one wooden ones and one white side. This is one of these that I painted and I went over it with the fine tip glue pen. I wasn't very happy with the green on that, and that was, I'd painted the other side as well, but it was just too dark for my liking, and I've gone over that with, I said that with a fine tip glue pen. But I've had a lot of fun with those, and that's what I did with that. Tied the ribbon around it. Can't remember where the happy birthday came from. Forgot to do that one as well. But that's where this idea came from after having done that one. So there you go. There's that. And that. Is that about the same length? Close enough. Almost. So there we go, there's today's card. I hope you like it, I hope you give it a try, without something inside and with something inside. As I say, do check my blog tomorrow morning. which will be the same day that the video goes live, and have a look to see what I decided to do about these grey dots, because I won't be leaving them, I know that. Right, okay, so there you go. Many thanks for joining me today. Too high. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always happy to help you, and I do love to hear your comments. If you would like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, with the exception of the Baker's Twine, I'm not sure what we have at the moment, but there will be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop in the box below. I will also put in the box below a list of all the products that I've used, the product codes, measurements as well. It'll all be there for you. If you've enjoyed watching my video and you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new one, which is normally Wednesdays and Sundays, please click on the subscribe button. And finally, I'm very lucky with making these videos, because a lot of my subscribers actually share their cards with me, and I was thinking that it's such a shame that it's only me that gets to see them, so I've set up a Facebook group for all of us so that we can share our projects, not just the projects that you've made because something that I've inspired you to do, but any of your projects. I'd love to see them, and I'd love you to share them within the group. The group I've called Happy Crafting, because that's what I say to you. It's how I sign off from my blog and everything. It's always Happy Crafting. Easy to remember too. So I hope you join us. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.